the farmers with an as easy as possible to use tool. So we know that this farming community, the digital literacy may not be perfect, and some farmers may not be able to use smartphones and apps with the old generations. So while we were doing the interviews and etc., we've been developing the app. We are in version 2.0, so it started at version 0.1 for instance. So we release a version, we ask quite a few farmers to access it and then provide us with feedback, and then they use it in their fields, and they give us the feedback again during the next farmers interviews and surveys, and so it's been constantly evolving to this stage to make sure the app is as easily readily accessible by any farmer, even with a poor digital literacy. Just for interest, so these are the different parameters we've been measuring to develop the problem model. Okay, please. Okay, quickly running into the version 2.0. So the app is, so we've been developing the app for Android, mainly focusing on the sugarcane. At the same time, we've been providing some free phones for these pilot users, etc., because none of the farmers use Android, they'd rather use iPhone. And so we've just released version 2.0 for these new farmers. It's available in the App Store. Let's just quickly to show the COMPAS app. I'm sorry. There is a video link, sorry. Can you minimize it? That's possible? Yeah. Okay, that's in Spanish. I hope I will understand too. So, obviously, while register, they just register with their contact details, and like any other app, when they try to register, and they get an email confirmation to activate the app, and then once they're activated with a login, they're good to go. Yeah, maybe we can skip that boring part. Oh yeah, you can skip that one to the end. So yeah, they just get a confirmation stating that, and they get a notification to activate. And once you activate, I think that's yeah. Once you activate it, they just log in. And there you go. And yeah, that's an interesting part. You can pause it. So actually, we are working on the next immediate versions actually to introduce an health icon where it will literally spoon feed the farmers what to do and how to do. If they are stuck with anything, they can literally press on that health icon, and it will show, for example, what is happening, what is the data layering, and how are they supposed to draw the field boundaries, etc. Yeah, so you can play. So that's
this app is free.
It is free.
Or how much?
No, it is free. It is free for the farmers. Okay. Yeah. So this is just to show to draw the field boundaries. So that the farmer, if they know where their farm field locations are, they can either do it from home, or they can go to the field where the current location will be dragged, and then they just put one dot to the corner, and then they just walk around, and then finalize their fields. So once that's done, yeah, so that's a great field. Yeah, please play that one. So here the farmer, for example, I was doing for the Mexico City, well, doing the video, so you can, so they, if you're working from a different region, obviously just go to their current location as you use Google Maps here. So that's a polygon where it helps the farmers to draw their field boundaries. And the farmers can also access multiple fields and name them differently. So here, they name the fields. So that's the field created. So he's trying to create multiple fields here. So he's got two fields here, for instance, created. So once he has got the field and once he got activated, then it is linked to the system, and then so our database will link the Sentinel to our stock data, and then it will start feeding the satellite-based NDVI maps from the next satellite overpass. Okay, sorry. So these are the different features which will be available to start with. So one is a map interface where they can see the vegetation amendments like NDVI. So as soon as they are on the home page, they can see, oh, there's a red spot, there's a green spot, distributed confidence, and there's activities. So the farmers write down on a piece of paper. That's how they usually manage. And even when it comes to planning, they don't have such a tool. So we thought, what are the activities that farmers need from hasta la cosecha de siembra, everything needs to be there. So we have worked with them, and then so we just create a whole database. So where they can just tap the drop down, for example, seed varieties. So it list all the seed varieties available in that region. So they can just touch and record them. And that's a tool. The tool helps them, for example, to choose a irrigation date and the plantation date, and they can also plan when are they going to plant, so they can just get a calendar. So it will prompt them, okay, you have a plantation date coming, which means you have to irrigate at least 18 days before, which means you have to order irrigation at least 7 days before that 18th day, first day. So it will prompt them when to order irrigation. So as per our historical data analysis, for example, even if the farmer misses 2 days of irrigating the field in a sensitive window, it can have an impact on the yield. So if the farmers need to order irrigation, in Sonora, for example, they have to contact their local association head of the irrigation module, and they have to order before Friday, so that the irrigation the team leaders from different modules, they all gather in Driaki, the original head office, and tell them that, okay, in my module there are 50 farmers who want to water this week, etc. So if they miss one day, they have to wait a whole week. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to avoid that, where they can even order irrigation using the app linked with the Driaki, the irrigation district. Therefore, you avoid a lot of miscommunication, and you can, it has a great deal in terms of preventing the yield loss. And report, that's something that our farmers wanted. They want to see, can we see our historical NDVI from the last season, from this season, or can I generate a report of what are the things I've done in my field for this plantation? So that's the report section where they can plug into the computer and they can generate a report. Okay, tilling, you've done the conventional tilling on this day, on this time, and irrigation, this is what you've done on this day. So it just creates a whole summary if they want to do. That's something they want to do. But we haven't really released this yet because we're starting the season, so we're just analyzing what kind of information, what kind of format they want. So, yeah, I think that's not a video. Yeah, that's video. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are working to build this help icon there where we tell them how they have to use it, there's no zoom in, zoom out, go back to the screen, etc. And yeah, different data layers they can't identify using the satellite map. So the street view gives an idea of the street name, for example, reference. So that's the NDVI taken from one of our farmers' fields. So there's a satellite overpass every 5 days, and so before the satellite overpass, the app is supposed to prompt them, okay, your field is monitoring, your field will be monitored tomorrow, where if there's a satellite overpass, feel free to access your NDVI map a day after to refresh their health indicator, for instance. It doesn't tell them what exactly the cause is. For example, if there is a robo area, so it won't tell them whether it's a test or whether it's a water-based or whatever it is. But it tells them that there is a poor vegetation abundance in that particular area. So it gives them an idea to go and monitor the field. For example, in sugarcane it was highly useful where farmers, female farmers, they have security issue, access issue to get into these sugarcane fields, which are highly remote, it's like in the middle of nowhere, and there are multiple fields, so if they have to access frequently, it is a concern actually. So this literally helps them, and also once the sugarcane as it grows, it becomes highly risky actually health and safety to access the fields. So they don't have to walk through all the fields when it comes to monitoring. So they just focus on where the red areas are and then go and find. And also there are traditional farmers, so they know their fields better than this app does. So if there's a red area, oh I know what it is, it could be a pest, so they can just try to prevent it. And so the activities actually, for example, a farmer has registered, he wants to go and apply the pesticides. He doesn't allow because we want to avoid confusion. So, sorry. So the app will not let the farmers to add any activities on the growing or post-harvest until he fills the information and chronologically ascending order, so that it doesn't confuse the farmers. So when he uses the app, it only shows the features which are meant to be here. So we hide the rest of the features when it's not required. So yeah, these are the different preparation for tilling, manuring, irrigation, pesticides, sowing and planting. So once they put that one up to the preparation, then it will show the growing features like irrigation and if they're applying pesticides again, etc. And yeah, post-harvest, it's about field management and report generation if they want to do. Just to show you how would a farmer use their tool. I know it's a very fast-running video, so sorry. Would you mind rewinding a little bit to the main? Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah. So these are the different what do you call modules within the app where the farmers can access to, like Labranza, Abono, Sembra, or Plantaxium. So he's trying to apply the tilling, where he selects a time when he's going to till. It could either be an activity he has done, or if he puts a future activity, it could be saved in the calendar like a future action, so it will prompt them, okay, you have something scheduled, so they can plan. And yeah, there are two different kinds of tilling. Sorry, this one is conventional, and the other one is minimal, using a machinery, I guess. And yeah, we literally scroll through their account to see how much tilling has done, what they've done on the depth of the field. And the irrigation schedule. So, okay. So we can play that one, please. So again, when it comes to irrigation, that's a really important functional feature when it comes to Sonora that is a region. So obviously they plan irrigation, the type of irrigation, and how long they're doing this, and what the amount of water required. And this information, if the farmers feed it, is really important for the irrigation districts to see how much water every farmer is consuming for a particular field. And we can do a brilliant data analysis based on the yield and also how the NDF is performing, whether the farmer has been a very good farmer when it comes to crop management practice and relate with the amount of water being used. So, and hence the farmers provide the data. So every time they finish activity, he just summarizes them. Okay, this is what you performed. Planting, that's an important piece to show. So here the farm, as I mentioned before, okay, that's an activity, yeah. That's fine, yeah. So that's a plantation. That's what, as I mentioned, that's what the three different crops that we are working on at the moment. So that shows the database of whatever the varieties are available. So we try to avoid as much as puzzle for the farmers actually if they have to type in something unless they want to, because there is a free text area, so I can't find a variety where they can add it if they want. Yeah, this is only again. Sorry, I'll use these slides for the farmers during our workshop, so we make sure everything is covered in a slow pace. Okay, that's a planting schedule. That's an important piece of information. In the whole Yaqui Valley, if you could pause it a little bit, yeah, thank you. So in the whole Yaqui Valley, the amount of water, the amount of water retained by the soil really matters. And so it depends, so the irrigation and the planting schedule really depends upon the soil type as well. So the whole region is split into different regions depending on the soil type. The moisture content is high for the soil, so so they don't have to plant or they don't have to irrigate the specific type, etc. So it is linked also with the metadata. So when they choose a soil type, it cleverly mentions, okay, from this location, the soil type has to be this, so the app actually confirms to them as well, and even if they're wrong, they have to confirm it, because that is a really big factor for the crop model to perform its best. So what we've done is we've given a free text for the farmers to choose, number one, and number two, we have a backup verification as well. If the farmer was the right one, then we constantly update or calibrate. Yes, if you can show that. So for that farmer with two fields, he chooses field one. That's the type, soil type, tomato. And yeah, if you can pause it, please. Yeah. So based on, yeah, if you can bring on a little bit. Thank you. Sorry. So based on, when it comes to the Yaqui Valley, depending upon how much water is available in the reservoir, or depending upon what the RIACI has given information from the Ministry of Agriculture, from the government, they will announce during 1st of October, before the season begins from 15th of November every year. So on the 1st of October, the irrigation district announces the whole Yaqui Valley, okay, during the season, you will get 3 irrigations or 4 irrigations. So depending on the amount of irrigation they've got, they have to make it best of it. So hence we give them an option, okay, it's 3 irrigation or 4 irrigation. So if they put 3 irrigation or 4 irrigation, the app, based on our historical data and the crop model, adjusts itself to see, okay, in that case, if you're going to do the 3 irrigations, these are the approximate irrigation schedule for you have the luxury. So it adjusts accordingly. Yeah, please. So he's chosen 3 irrigations here, and in our last versions we've given a range. This is the amount of yield we were expecting for a specific field, and then when we thought that confuses people sometimes, so we thought, okay, it's a farmer's using it, so we either have to say very good or good. However, so we thought that's an easy way to interpret. So those are the different dates where the farmers can choose. For example, as I mentioned, we have the crop model has shown a potential of up to 12% increase in the yield. So the very good category falls into one of them. And so it's flexible. They can choose any of those dates and then choose the irrigation schedule. And yes, sorry, I didn't cover some other features actually because of the time. As I mentioned, so for this October, we've been providing this version 2 where the farmers have signed up and They are registering as we speak, and so they'll be accessing the preparation for the plantation and also irrigation in the coming days. So that's just a timeline for application for the conversions in the coming days. So by mid-December they'll be able to irrigate using the app's features. And what a good thing which has happened, like it's just a result from our workshop. We have interest shown from the Maya Valley district as well. We met with the director from the Maya Valley irrigation district. So they are currently going through a drought, and also because of that, there's negotiation going on between the government and the farmers because they have imposed their water tax to the farmers, and they're negotiating still at the moment. So it has drawn a really good attention among the farmers, and so in addition to the 100 plus, we're focusing on the Yaki Valley. We are taking for the farmers from the Maya Valley as well from this coming season. So what we've done is we have taken the pilot users' details, like data from the last season, to prove that this 100%, 12% increase in yield. So what we don't want to do is ask the farmers to risk to adapt to this irrigation schedule. This works fine. We don't want to do that. So what we have negotiated with the DRIAT and also with the farmers is that if a farmer has 10 hectares, it's totally up to them to provide us with 1 hectare to apply the COMPAS based recommendation to that one piece, like 10% of the yield of the plot. But the remaining plot they can access their as per their own schedule, one practice, and this one will be a COMPAS based feature. So by end of the next season, it gives a very good indication of it gives a very good demonstration for us to prove the farmers that okay, from what you have chosen, this is the difference you can get between the app-based recommended irrigation again to your traditional practice. And so we had a yes like from most of the farmers, so that, and also the irrigation district, they said they are happy to provide special irrigation. For example, a compost-based field will need irrigation on 15 December, whereas the farmer would like to have the irrigation as well as novel practice on 21st of December. So irrigation district, they're happy. They said we can provide all these farmers from different modules with these irrigation whenever required. And we have a team working at the moment from Reacting the irrigation district on this project to complete this validation of a bigger validation in the coming season. And yeah, that's it. So as I mentioned, I'll quickly show you some slides on crop insurance funding. Yeah, do that. So as I mentioned, we wanted to provide as much as possible benefits to the farming community. So when it comes to the crop insurance is one of the main factors. So there are regions in the south of Mexico, for example, sugarcane, for instance, where the digital literacy is quite poor, and the crop management practice is it's not as effective as you would see from farmers in the north of the region. Either it's technology adoption or the way they do things, because they stick with their own traditional way of practicing these. So when it comes to crop insurance, they would like to reduce the risk as much as possible. They would like to see that the farmers are applying pesticides, for instance, the right time, or even into irrigation. So as long as they can reduce these risks, it gives them a good confidence for a new farmer, for instance, for a crop insurance premium. So if a farmer has been using the app for a whole season, we have a good database of those farmers, what they've done and how they've done, and we have a historical NDVIs, and we also have the yield data. So based on which it gives an indication for a crop insurance farm to assess how the farmer has been performing. And also, so we're trying to draw correlation by using COMPAS app. The farmer can reduce this impact, for instance. So this coming season, we're providing a dashboard for the insurance company. Obviously, we do it as a commercial service for the crop insurance company once it's developed. But at the same time, we don't share the farmer's confidential data. So it will be shared. We share it, and they don't have data required because they would like to see when did they sow. They would like to see the NDVI, for instance. So the agreement is that between the farmer as a customer and the crop insurance. Okay, if you provide these data based on historical information, we can provide you a crop insurance discount in return. So that is the link we're trying to achieve there. So this is just an example of our relationship in Informer. This is a dashboard where a computer-based portal where the crop insurance company will just log in and see for a particular area of different data they would like to see for a farmer overall with 3 different fields. He's got one sugarcane field, for instance. So when they plant, the planting dates given and irrigation dates given, etc. So and also they can collect the whole information into a dashboard to see how many farmers, for instance, have sown at the right time, so they can take any measures if required. And yeah, this one please. And also that shows the NDPI at any particular time for these insurance companies if they'd like to access. I didn't have some of the other slides because of time. And for irrigation, I'm sure I've shown this before. So as I mentioned, that's the optimum sowing period in the whole Yaqui Valley. So the sowing period, if you see the scroll down below, that shows the dates. So if they can just scroll through at 30th November, the best sowing period is the north of Sonora, and the worst one is, so they know exactly where the water resources will be required. It comes to irrigation district to release it. Next one, please. That shows the irrigation canals, and currently we are trying to build the dashboard with a 3D map of their irrigation canals and channels, which is a work in progress, I have to say. So those are the primary and secondary canals in the Yaqui Valley, a particular region. So currently, DRIACU, they wanted to plot the whole farmers' fields in the whole Sonora. They farms the compost, the compost, and they also would like to see whether the irrigation with these pilot users will be using the app. They want to see whether everyone's taking the irrigation schedule. And number two, we are trying to link the communication between the farmers directly with irrigation, where the farmers will be able to order irrigation through the mobile phone. Okay, so that shows the field irrigation. That's for the Yaqui Valley. For example, these are different farmers. They want different irrigation dates. So that shows that reality that these are 10 days below the order has been demanded, and these are 20 plus days. So if a farmer has ordered like 20 days, they get only 20 days ago because they wanted it shows green, so they don't have to act immediately straight away. And they can also choose a particular farmer. Ignore this. We won't show the farmer's details, but just to show you. Yes, please, next one. Next one. Yeah, so they also have the ability to mark the polygon for a particular area to see how much water would be required, but that is purely based on the farmer's input. So that shows the number of fields selected, the water quantity required as an average. But the risk at the moment we have in Yaqui Valley is that the farmers don't measure the amount of water being used. And there is, whereas in my valley they use instruments to measure what's the diameter of the pipe, what is the water flow rate, and what's the time the duration of the water being applied. So that's a quite useful information. So during this coming season, we also mentioning to these staffs working with reacting to these farmers out to measure these information because it's required to create this database. So that's the water demand. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hope it was interesting.
Yes, it was.
So can we wrap it up? No.
No, I think it's okay.
you very much. Muy bien, pues un excelente seminario que hemos tenido con el doctor Saravana Chipani sobre este proyecto piloto de la empresa Rezatech de la Reino Unido y México. ¿Alguna pregunta de sí?
Sí.
Muy bien.
This technology is used in the country for the soap, only flowers or vegetables.
In the UK, we monitor grass, for example, how it's grazing. So it affects the height of the grass affects the quality. So we do it with the grass. How long the crops need to be grazed, eaten by the cows, so that they can move it, so they get the best quality milk, for instance. So we do that, and we do crop classification in the UK. And yeah, when it comes to commercial crops in abroad, so this is first of the kind.
¿Alguien más?
And when you go with the farmers in the first approach with them, what were their thinking about this
That's
technology?
an interesting question. When you first, obviously, you won't just show up trying to interview them. You go through the Farmers Association or the local people, like our Smith staff. They work with the farmers on the research. So, when we access some of the new farmers in workshops, for instance, in areas, their initial concern was like, we're coming from the UK, from the States Agency, trying to help as part of the international partnership program. Why is the app being free? So that was kind of a suspicious question being raised. So we have to literally explain them that we're spending this amount of money using space technology to improve the economy and also collaborate as a partnership program. And we also we also work with the influencers, like for example, irrigation district, Farmers Association, for instance, AWAS. They are helping us to do a great deal to deal with the farmers. So when they talk to them, to us, they trust them. So building the trust was a key concern we had.
Yes, I'm wondering about if you have some measures to make this program so sustainable, I mean continuous
Yes.
for the future,
Yeah.
and if you have involved, integrated people from other local companies or
Yes.
regional
Yes.
that can support this.
You have missed it was one of the things.
Yes, I
Yeah. So it's a fun project, UK Space Agency.
Yeah.
Ideally, we wanted to bring a free app, but post that we are a commercial company, so we have to provide the app for free. We cannot do that. So we are a geospatial economics company, so we work with commercial and also with the government, providing a dashboard space service. So we work with irrigation district, and we're working with to reactivate agro-economics, crop insurance, and we also trying to focus with the processors, marineros. So we provide a dashboard-based service where they pay for it.
But for the support of and the evolution of this program,
Yes.
I think we need also local talent to validate the models, the algorithm, and so on, to interpret,
Yes.
to make the interpretation of the
Yeah.
image.
We've been.
Because, well, you know, here in Mexico there are some companies that already make some of this activity in other regions, and as we would like to see these companies totally integrated in the
Double B. Yes. Double
develop
B.
the shape value and so on.
Yeah. But during this phase of the project, we obviously most of our resources are spent on developing the app for the farmers,
Yeah.
and some resources spent with the commercial stakeholders to prove this technology. So we have to show, so we didn't focus on too many commercial stakeholders at this stage. So we want to just focus on 2 or 3 highly cooperative commercial organizations where we can start building a commercial product and then expand further.
Yes, to have the expertise to continue
Exactly. Yes.
improving this technology.
Yeah.
And my last question is about, yes, you validate your model with taking taking the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to what extent you can use IoT or to improve this program?
To what extent?
IoT, Internet of Things.
Um,
Any sensors to validate.
well, we have local partners like Civic
Okay.
working with us, and COMPAS, they are part of Mascana group. They are working with us, and also we have access through the Commerce Association. So obviously the project is funded with all these resources for these measurements to be taken. So they go to field measurements, for example, solid moisture to be mentioned, or leaf area index using canopy cover, extracts, green seeker, for instance, and also the UAV, the drones. So what we've been doing is we've been collecting these input measurements. Um, the stats go on collect from the farmer's field and also from experimental stations, detailed measurements. And we also run the UAV to calibrate, for example, the virus. And we link these data with the Sentinel-2 based NVI converted to biomass, and then that calibrates, okay, the satellite, because the resolution is not that great when you compare the ground-based data against the satellite data. So, yes, so we do that. Yeah, exactly. So once at the moment in terms of calibration, you don't need the calibration. Once the crop model is well developed, like we have now, you don't need to calibrate every a year and a half or something. So you don't. That's not a constant requirement to be considered.
There is no need to have constant
No.
monitoring
During
of
this dev-
some variables.
no, during this development phase, yes.
We give opportunity to last question. Then we have more questions. We can work. All.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. I need to go home.
No, not that's it. We have. Yeah, we have a meeting after the presentation. With Dr. Cruzan.
Yes.
But does anybody
The
have
next
another
question.
Please.
Yes, I have a question. As you were saying, the type of soil is very important. In some parts of Mexico, mostly in the north part, there's a lot of farmers living in mountains or hills, not flat land. And there's a problem with the satellite image in that case.
We should have, yes, because at the end of the sat well, this the radio spectrum, it actually takes the texture, the surface profile. So obviously the altitude doesn't matter when it comes to that. We don't analyze the soil characteristics. We analyze the biomass of the leaf area, for example, those kind of characteristics. So when it comes to altitude, we do take that into account. But at the moment where we are working on, we are trying to focus on the 80% of the farmer's field who's not likely to be doing in mountains, for instance. So obviously it's an evolving project, so we definitely need to consider that.
Muy interesantes preguntas. ¿Alguna otra última pregunta? A ver, Sandra.
You only use Sentinel satellite or to Landsat program Aster radar?
We have been using Landsat. We do use Sentinel-2 at the moment. We are also using Spot. That's mainly to help with the sugarcane fields. As you see, the Veracruz, Cardenas, Tabasco, these are all not irrigation fed, they are rain fed. So when there is a cloud cover that has an impact, so we use spot data to balance that out.
Muy bien. Pues muchas gracias, doctor. Le damos un aplauso nuevamente. Excelente seminario sobre agricultura de precisión.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Y te voy a entregar el reconocimiento a nombre de la Agencia Espacial Mexicana, que dice así: la Agencia Espacial Mexicana extiende el siguiente reconocimiento al doctor Saravana Montami por haber impartido el seminario Proyecto COMPAS, Tecnología Satelital para la Agricultura en México, impartido en las instalaciones de la Agencia Espacial Mexicana el jueves 24 de octubre de 2019. Firma un servidor, Carlos Duarte.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Me faltó una cosa. no sé si tengamos alguna pregunta de nuestros amigos que están en línea. Si hay alguna pregunta.
Sí.
Perdón por la omisión.
To create this wonderful app, I suppose you have to research the daily farmer's work. How deep was your research?
Could you repeat that again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
To create this wonderful app, I suppose you have to research the daily farmer's work.
Mhm.
So, how deep was your research?
Our research, when it comes to the dairy farmers, it goes back to our research goes back to last 3 years of research with the farmers, along with historical data, which goes back to 10 years, along with the climatic data, which goes back to 20 years.
That's good.
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
No, es la única.
Bueno, pues con esto terminamos el seminario. Le damos las gracias, doctor.
Thank you so much.
Amigos que nos están viendo en línea, les agradecemos su participación y los invitamos a los siguientes seminarios de divulgación de ciencias de computación aquí en la Universidad Mexicana, por el canal hacia el espacio. Muchas gracias. Y pues podemos tener luego una reunión formal con